Everyone, welcome to the Public Service Committee meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 28th. The time is 6 p.m. Oh, October 29th. I'm going slow. October 29th, sorry about that. Thank you, Daylight Savings, no kidding. I'm Juan Anderson Burgos. I'm the chair of the committee. To my right, I have Carmen Ocasio, Ward 2 City Councilor. To my left, we have Howard Graney, the at-large councilor. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We also have at-large City Councilor Patty Devine, and I don't see any other city councilor online. This meeting is on the Community Access channel. We are on Zoom, live stream, and recorded. If someone would like to make a motion for one of the items to be removed from the agenda.
Remove item 1 from the table.
Second.
Okay, so item 1 is the last minutes from June 17th, 2024. Has the committee members seen and looked over the minutes? And are okay with it?
Move to receive.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so.
Move to make number 2 off, bring number 2 off the table.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. So item 2 is from Mayor Joshua Garcia, appointment for Vanessa Santiago to the Parks and Recreation Commission. We do have Ms. Santiago online. Ms. Santiago, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Vanessa Santiago, and I am a resident of Holyoke.
Good evening, how are you?
Address?
Very
Yes,
well,
can you-
yourself?
Very good. Can you give us your address, please, for the record?
Yep, 75 Sycamore Street in Holyoke.
Thank you for that. Yeah, just give us a little bit of background about yourself and your interest in the position.
Yeah, so I myself graduated here from Holyoke Public Schools. I've been participating and have continued to participate in the Holyoke Youth Softball League. In addition to many school events, my children come to Holyoke Public Schools. And so my interest in being part of the Park and Recs is, to try to give our kids the opportunity that we had back in the days, and making sure that, they have some advocacy for those who are unable to advocate for their children.
Thank you
I'm
for that.
also completing my master's in social work, so.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I really appreciate you. Do any of the committee members have any questions?
Just one, please.
Sure. Howard?
Yes, just, Ms. Santiago, could you please give me your take on handicap accessibilities to our parks?
I think they're important. I think they're important for all of our children to be able to utilize all of the parks, regardless of what their ability is. And so I think that is needed. And I don't think that we should just have one park in the Highlands that is able to fit with kids with disabilities. I think more parks should be around the city that allow that opportunity for all of our kids, not just the ones that can get up to the Highlands.
Thank you.
I just want to make a point that Councilor Jenny Rivera has joined us on Zoom, and Councilor Linda Vacan has also joined us on Zoom. Okay, so Vanessa, thank you so much for your interest. This will go to the full city council for a first of all, I would like to say that
Move that we accept the mayor's recommendation,
okay,
or approve the mayor's recommendation.
all those in favor?
Aye.
So this will go to the full city council for a recommendation from the committee, and we'll be voting on November 7th. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for your time.
Of course, thank you.
Move to take item 3 off the table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so item 3 let's see, Mayor Garcia, a letter from Mayor Garcia appointing Jose Maldonado Velez of 75 Linden Street to serve as a commissioner on the Holyoke Housing Authority. Mr. Maldonado Velez will finish out the term of Ms. Gladys Lebron-Martinez, which will expire April 1st, 2029. Oh, on my birthday. Nice. We do have Jose Maldonado Velez here. Would you, yeah, have a seat, please? And just... feel free, just tell us a little bit about yourself, and although I know already, so, but for the public, yeah.
Thank you, Counselor, and thank you to the Public Service and Human Resources Committee. My name is Jose Luis Maldonado Velez. I am from 75 Linden Street, apartment 3 here in Holyoke. Born and raised Holyoker, product of the Holyoke Public School Systems. Had a 2-year stint outside of it in New York and a couple years away for school, but mostly full-time here in Holyoke. I am also a former city councilor, having served in the last term. And, you know, since not being reelected in this last term, there's been a lot of opportunities open up for different commissions, different boards and whatnot. And when I was asked to be part of the Holyoke Housing Authority, it was the first one that I actually felt most strongly about. Even though my history, especially during my term, I was always advocating for housing, whether it was Office of Tenant Protection or just helping residents with creating a town hall here. Housing for me is the core of many of the issues that we face in our community. So I would love to spend the time really being on this commission and doing the best that I can for Holyoke and the Holyoke Housing Authority.
Thank you so much for your interest. Do any of the committee members have any questions? None of you?
No.
Go ahead.
I don't really have a question other than I'm glad you're back. And I think this is the perfect fit for Jose. You've always advocated for housing, and I really think you're going to do a great job there. So congratulations and good luck.
Appreciate it.
Move to accept the mayor's recommendation?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so our next city council meeting will be November 7th, so it'll be recommended then. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Move to take item 4 off the table?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Item number 4. It's a letter from Councilor MAGRATH-SMITH, ordered that a new community representative be chosen by City Council to be seated on the Community Preservation Act Committee to replace Franchesca Nunez. Okay.
Good question.
And so, yes, what's the question?
Do we have any applicants?
There are, I believe, 2 applicants. One is here, currently here. We would love to invite her in.
Okay, good.
Yep.
I didn't see it. I didn't see that. Yeah, okay.
Have a seat wherever you would like. So introduce yourself, name, address, and your desire to serve. Oh.
Right there. All right. So hello, and thank you so much for having me here. My name is Sarah LaRose. I'm at 77 Elmwood Ave, and I have been a lifelong Holyoke resident, with the exception of a very brief stint in New York. And I can tell you that I was coming home almost every weekend, and this was still home. I have spent most of my career at Holyoke Gas and Electric, and really it was that made me fall in love with this city and want to do my best for the people that are here. As far as the things that the Community Preservation Committee focuses on, affordable and livable housing, recreation opportunities and preservation of cultural resources. That is the heart and soul of a city. That's what makes a place home versus a place to just sleep and work. And so it feels like a natural fit to just get further involved in that and really work to make Holyoke a vibrant place.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Did any of the committee members have a question?
I didn't get a chance to see these. This is the first I've had tonight.
The resume?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll let, just take a glance at it, if you will. Did you have anything?
You're the second person.
Is there a separate meeting going on?
Well, no, I'm just making sure that the committee members speak first.
Okay, well, I would certainly let them do that, but if nobody's going to speak first, I will certainly speak in favor of this appointment. I first met Sarah just a few weeks ago. She was the organizer of the Holyoke for 3-family and up homeowners that were having some situations with the building department, and between the building department, the mayor, the law department, they've really straightened that out, and I think that she would be a great fit for this. She is definitely organized, I know that, and so I would speak very highly in favor of her appointment.
Carmen, did you? No. I have read through your resume, and I'm very, very, very extremely impressed, and I'm so happy that a candidate like you has showed up and stepped up. And I appreciate the fact that you are one of us, a Holyoker. I was also born and raised in this city, and I love it. And I love when our community comes together and step up and wants to be part of the process.
Thank
So
you
thank
so
you so
much.
much. Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yes, please.
Ms. Velez, one of our most important natural resources in Holyoke obviously is our water supply and our wetlands. What's your intention as far as preserving these beautiful facilities that we have?
That's a great question, and you know, even in my job at Holyoke Gas and Electric, one of the areas that I get most involved with is permitting various projects. I know a lot of the Conservation Commission members, and I have worked very, very closely with them in my professional life. And I think that, it is, first of all, very, very important to preserve the natural resources that provide important habitat and provide, a whole bunch of the life forms that make Holyoke very, very unique. I mean, if you think about some of the key recreation areas in Holyoke, Mount Tom comes to mind, Ashley Reservoir comes to mind, and all of those are areas that have been, more or less preserved in their natural state. And so, although I do feel that it is possible to combine, development and environmental protection in a way that, really kind of, helps further both, I definitely believe that there is very significant value in protecting those resources.
Thank you.
There is also one more applicant, but I don't believe, did any other, you don't have a question? You don't have any more questions? Thank you so much for your time. So there is one other person, and then I'll move on to what I'm going to do with the item. But November 7th will be the day where everyone votes. Thank you so much. So, well, I was going to package both the recommendations. I just want to see, Jeffrey, do we know if Russell J. McNiff, who is another candidate, has he reached out to you as to whether he will be appearing tonight?
When the date was set for this and I received this information, he did say he was going to be here, so I hadn't heard from him today, though.
Okay. So I think what we could do, let's make the motion to just, we have the resume, and at any time during city council, we can appoint anyone, to be honest. So, yeah, let's make the motion on item number 4.
All right, let's move to accept the appointment of Ms. Velez.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So as I stated before, November 7th will be our meeting, and that's when we'll be voting on who will be the CPA chair or member. Thank you. Thank you for your interest.
Move to take item 5 off the table?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So item number 5, filed by Councilor Bartley, that the Veterans Service Department head look to expanding the number of signs on Holyoke's Purple Heart Drive, refer to reverends, take me to church, refer to Veterans Services Department, War Memorial Commission, and refer to the Public Service for a follow-up. I do have 2 members of the veterans here. Please have a seat with us, join us, introduce yourselves, and all that other good stuff. A green light, if there's a green light, yeah.
Okay. Good evening. Jorge Santiago, the Director of Veterans Services for the City of Holyoke.
Good evening, Larry Rue, War Memorial Commissioner with the City of Holyoke.
So, is Councilor Bartley online? I don't see him. Back to Mr. Oz. Jeffrey, did we get?
He called me earlier today and said he was going to try to join via Zoom if he could make it, but he said he had a lengthy discussion with Mr. Santiago earlier today about this order.
Okay, perfect. So then we'll have Mr. Santiago take the lead on this and discuss.
Okay. Well, good evening. Thank you for having me. After talking to Councilor Bartley, prior, my predecessor, Jesus, they worked on doing the Purple Heart Trail from Sahali, 202. It goes all the way to Southampton, so every city in town have adopted and kept going with it. And we're just trying to expand the signage and have more opportunity to have sponsor members from veterans in the city of Holyoke to sponsor and, put new signage and keep adding to it, as they get worn out, replace them with new ones, and then return those to the family that sponsor them. As well as we're trying to take pictures of them, have a bio of the sponsor, and put it into the city website as well as the War Memorial, so people can have access to it and online.
Nice. Did you have it?
And again, in support to what Mr. Santiago is doing, this is something that I did collaborate in the past with Jesus, and one of the things that the War Memorial Commissioners totally agree with is the expansion and the history that Holyoke has, and it shouldn't only remain in Holyoke, it should certainly be expanded throughout many areas in Western Massachusetts. Being able to display what our veterans did and who we have in the city of Holyoke is extremely important for the history, for our current veterans, for future veterans, and for all of our families who have lost loved ones, who definitely want to have that memorabilia present to be able to keep and treasure and replace. So we are at the commission full support to be able to find ways to expand this cause. Obviously it is costly, and we do want to see if we are able to find other mediums to really help expand the program, keep it live, and definitely give the limelight that we need to this project. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Mr. Green?
First of all, thank you very much for your service, number one. Number two, I'm fully in support of anything for the vets,
Here.
especially our Purple Heart vets.
You're here. Carmen? No? So when you say expanding, how far are we expanding? Not that I wanted to expand, obviously. I'm
It's
curious.
depending on the signage. How many people are willing to sponsor a signage. So we have to put that out to the public, see who's interested in sponsoring a signage, and going from there to see the interest in it. So we need the approval in order to at least publicize that we're trying to get sponsors to add additional signage to the Purple Heart Trail.
You're getting approval
From you guys to expand the trail.
Yeah, to expand it.
and I don't even see an issue with, obviously the approval is here. But
100%.
When we originally started this, Councilor Bartley was involved in starting this program up. I was on the council at the time, and the council fully supported it
Yeah.
at that time. So
yes,
I don't see any change as far as that's concerned going on. at this
Yeah, you'll get our full support. Yeah.
The biggest thing is just keeping our veterans' memory alive.
Oh, right.
It just doesn't stop when they got out of the service, when they pass away. It doesn't stop. We want to keep their memories alive through signage. This year we did the first Purple Heart ceremony here in front of the city hall. We raised the flag on August 6th.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to those little events that keep the memory of Vietnam, Korean, World War I, II. We got D-Day coming up on December 6th. So we want to keep going and not let it die.
No, and, right.
We
It's not-
we just lost a highly decorated veteran from Vietnam, Frank Mooney, went to the wake last week, and he was buried in the Veterans Cemetery last week. And he was Bronze Star, Purple Heart.
Wow.
Very brave man, very wonderful man, always active in Holyoke Youth and so on and so forth. So hopefully we're going to get a moment of silence for him at the next city council meeting.
Amazing.
And we also could do it. We have Veterans Day ceremony coming up November 11th, so we'll make sure we'll pay respect to him.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That means a lot. Yeah. And my condolences to the family and friends. I think so. The will of the body, I'm assuming it's complied with. That's what the notes I had from Jeff that Councilor Bartley had mentioned.
Yeah, move that we comply and support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
We thank you.
Thank you.
See you November 11th. Okay. November 11th. Let me calendar. You too.
I think 6 and 7. 6 and 7. So 6 and 7, yeah, package and receive, and see if.
All right, move to take items 6 and 7 off the table and receive.
Received. We do, number 6 is from Attorney Kathleen Degnan, communication regarding open meeting law from Linda Vacan. And number 7 is also from Attorney Kathleen Degnan, communication regarding open meeting law from Stephen Superba. Now, we do have the city solicitor here who might want to talk on these items, if that's the will of the body.
Move to allow city solicitor to speak.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, and we also have,
Or Attorney Bissonnette.
well, let's pause on the attorney. I believe Councilor Vacan has her hand up, but I believe she has a question. So let's let her weigh in first before we have the city solicitor mention anything. Councilor Vacan.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So Jeffrey had reached out to me because I had requested that these go to committee.
Yep.
And so my main interest in putting all of these items from item 6 through 17 on the agenda was to have them all in one location where they would be posted as their public information.
Understood.
I'm getting an echo on my end, are you?
No, you're coming in fine.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to make a couple of points. And that is that my goal in all of this is to make sure that the business of the public is in public, and that whenever there's requests for public information, that we make sure that those are posted and available as soon as legally and permissibly possible. And while we have had a lot of input relative to communications that city councilors can have between each other relative to the open meeting law, I think it's equally important that we are always following the open meeting law in its entirety. And I don't count myself as having been an expert on it, and we're all learning as we go. But that is the main impetus behind my filing of these to be reviewed in committee. I am hoping that all the committee members have had a chance to read all the documents, And my further goal will be to release executive committee minutes in an executive session going forward. As in one instance at least, almost all of the information is already public. Thank you.
Understood, thank you. Attorney Bissonnette? Oh, you're on mute, attorney.
My apologies and good evening.
Good evening.
My thought here would be to package up all the items pertaining to Mr. Superba's complaints, Council Bacon's complaint, the responses between the city and the state attorney general, who has indicated that no further action should be taken. So I think that this has been a good learning experience. I commend Councilor Bacon for bringing it to our attention, particularly concerning executive session minutes, which apparently prior to the pandemic had not been prepared and presented. I'm not sure. None of us in law were back here then, but we've remedied that. And going forward, I think we can assure that we have continued to act to try to put this before the public. Some instances relative to litigation, to negotiations, times when the best interests of the city and its taxpayers are only served by trying to do some of this work in consultation with the opposing party and then presenting before the public for a settlement. So that's where we are in some of these things. I'm sure everyone appreciates the effort of Garcia and doing the police audit, which brought forth a number of reforms, revisions, corrections, if you will, in operations. And I think his intent is to set that going forward even stronger under the new chief. So I think a number of these issues have been addressed already. I would respectfully submit that you could consolidate the order, accept all of.
Yep, that's, yeah, so.
Have those archived.
Yep, so the plan of the committee was to package 6 through 17 after having a brief conversation. So, but I do want to thank you, Attorney Bissonnette. Thank you for your comments. I wanted to.
I have a question, Attorney Bissonnette.
Go ahead.
We just want to make sure we make public everything that's legal. You know, we don't, so if all these, whatever is legal, we want to make sure the public gets it.
Sir, whatever can be released legally is getting released, has been released, or will be released.
Okay.
So we're hopefully ahead of the game and on top of where we're supposed to be now. And we shouldn't fall behind ever.
All right, well, I'll make a motion. We make available to the public for their consumption items 6 through 17.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so those will be made public, and you have, anyone who has access to a computer can see those and read them at their leisure. I do have someone in the audience, and since I mentioned his name, if you'd like to come up and say a few words before we close the meeting. Oh, no, I'm sorry, at the microphone. Sorry about that, Stephen. So name and address for the record, right up there, up higher. Nope, the little button right there. Nope, there we go.
Steve Superba, 17 Glen Street. I originally came here because I wasn't going to speak. However, I want to express a few things now that the meeting has proceeded here. I want to echo what Councilor Bacon said about transparency and forthright. When you're dealing with taxpayers' monies, it should be disclosed where it's going and what's going on. I want to pick out one particular article that's going to be on the website that I would hope that all the councilors have read all my material. I'm hoping that the community will read the material. One article I'd like to point out is the Boston Globe article, which mirrors the exact situation here that's going on with transferring funds into this damages and claims account. that's what I'm hoping. If you're not going to read anything else, read that. And so, yeah, I just, my experience, I've filed 2 open meeting laws. The whole thing is not complete yet because I still have an open meeting law with the Attorney General. Attorney Bissonnette, that was inaccurate because it's not closed and it's still ongoing. It has to do with the same substance matter that we're talking about here. He also mentioned the police risk analysis report and the recommendations, none of which have been remedied. And that became apparent in the article of August 18th on Mass Live that they tried to portray that a lot of the recommendations had been taken care of and they haven't been. So I'm off field a little bit, but as I said, I came here mainly because I'm throwing stones and I want to be held accountable to anyone to speak to me, to assess my motivations and or credibility. And basically, that's why I'm here.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your words and your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, item 6 through 17 was already packaged, and we already voted on that. There's nothing else on the agenda, so if anybody makes the motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This meeting has now adjourned. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.